What's up, Fisherman Fanatics? Alright, so as promised, it's a couple days later, and I wanted to show you exactly how the 72 looks. Now, this is what happens when you do a water change. You get bubbles in the leaves. It looks like the plants are purling, but they're really not. It's just because there's an excessive amount of oxygen in the tank due to the water change. So you're gonna get little bubbles all over everything. And basically what purling is when there's an excessive amount of oxygen in a tank, the leaves, the plants no longer need to create as much. They're creating an excessive amount of oxygen and it tends to form into air bubbles, but you also get the same effect when you do a water change and you have a lot of plants, so it looks very similar. As you can see, we moved all of the diamond tetras in here. Get in here a little bit closer. Diamond tetras, there's all the Galaxy Rasboras, the blood fins are in here, the black skirts are in here, the serpes are all kind of hanging out over here, they're all down here now. But all of the tetras along with the Rasboras are in here. Now this puts us up to, I gotta count, 8, 11, 14, 24, should be 24 fish in this tank at the moment. If my math is right, and it should be. We should have 24 total fish in here right now. There's 10 serpes, there's 5 diamonds, there's 8 Galaxy Rasboras, so that's 23 Harlequin Rasboras. Forgive me, love. So that should be 23. I'll take that back. And then there's also the 3 black skirts, which would put us up to 26, and 3 blood fins, which puts us at 29. So there's 29 total in here. And I'll scoot back a little bit so you guys can see, but there's all the Rasboras, blood fins, black skirts, diamonds. Everybody's out and about except for the serpes. The serpes had a pretty big ordeal trying to get moved in here. They didn't like to be moved at all, but now that they're in here, they're kind of somewhat coming out and doing more. All of these guys are shoaling fish, so they're all pretty much going to swim with each other for the most part. This is a very peaceful community tank, if you will, for the most part. Black skirts can tend to be a little aggressive if they get territorial, but the more fish there are in there, the less likely that is to happen. Same thing, diamonds are pretty peaceful, but again, they can be semi-aggressive if they feel like they need to be territorial, which with there being almost 30 fish in here, that shouldn't be the case. And we're probably going to add some more blood fins, a few more black skirts, and I believe some rummy nose tetras are going to come in here as well at some point. So we're going to have a good stock in here. There's plenty of plants in here. As you can see, the swords are doing really well. We've got water lettuce all over, water wisteria. There's some val in here, some Rothalia rotundra. I can't remember the name of these guys, but these are supposed to get pretty big too. We have plenty of plants in here that are all going to grow out. There's more val over there as well. So it's going to be heavily planted, and it's got a lot of decorations in there as well. So this should end up being a pretty good tank for these guys all together. All in all, not a bad day's worth of work. So they're all moved, and if you haven't seen, we got the air pump running. We are running 2 filters in here because eventually that's going to come off. So we do have 2 of the sponge filters going as well, and 1 on each side just to keep flow going throughout the entire tank. We have air in all of the shrimp tanks. I'm only going to do a couple right now, but there's air in all the shrimp tanks that have water in them right now. These guys have air as well. So there's the pump all the way across the room. So everything's coming along really well, for sure. So we'll see how everything goes, but it's looking pretty good so far. And I mean, you can see they're all kind of grouping up a little bit together, and they're forming little groups, which is really nice to see. So they got plenty of room in here. So that's stage one. I mean, like I said, there'll be some more in there before it's completely done, but for right now, this is kind of where we're at with it. So a lot of progress made over the weekend, which is really nice to see. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the box below. Suggestions are always welcome as always. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. Let's get some more people into the fish keeping hobby. And as always, happy fish keeping.